Well, here we are, almost half a year later for Trigger Tuesday, filming for January 14th, 2020. We seriously haven't done an episode in probably half a year. And
Happy New Year, everyone.
yeah, Happy New Year. And Crossan is eating a sandwich. Crossan, what sandwich are you eating?
Cheesesteak is delicious.
All right, you're trash.
You're trash.
Let's just jump right into it. The topics. What's gotten me triggered? The first thing is I see people sharing this news article. The news article is a store that sells rare video games and consoles is opening in New Jersey. To summarize, there's a company called JJGames. They've been an online seller. The owner's name, and I don't think I've met him personally in my life, but I wouldn't doubt that we've crossed paths numerous times, is Jay Fenimore, I believe. It's funny because I know a Joe Fenimore. I wonder if they're related. But they have a store, I think, somewhere in South Jersey, but now they're opening a store in the Clarkton Shopping Center in Clark, New Jersey, which is 5 minutes from the trash can himself, Mark. And I just Googled it. It's exactly 6.3 miles or 16 minutes away from Digital Press in Springfield. So, what do you guys
Cor-
think of this?
Correct.
It's,
Go ahead, Dave.
I mean, it's it's like we were saying in our text. It's sort of like opening up a bank like right across the street from the other bank or whatever the whole story we were talking about. It's just I don't know, man. I have to see the store to see if it's different at all from what Leo's doing over at Digital Press. But I mean, just like on the surface, it just sounds like a bad idea. 15 minutes away, and it looks like it's a pretty straight shot too. It's like too close, man.
Yeah, it's you could just stop at both stores side by side in like a day, and I think the thing that is concerning to me is that people are opening more stores when this hobby is now proven that the popularity is gone. Like the hype is gone for this hobby. The only people that I think are left are really diehards, uh,
Purists.
purists, exactly. And it's we keep using the analogy. It's like it's I guess we made a bad analogy. We said a gas station opening next to a gas station. But let's say here, let's just use this analogy. A specialty store like I don't fucking know. A soccer or sporting goods store opening next to a sporting goods store, or a Petco opening next to a PetSmart. To me, I think that is either stupidity or maybe it's a smart game plan because there's been stores that have opened next to GameStops, but to Dave's point, if they do something different, but what can they even do that's different at that point, you know?
Well, I think it also will come down to, you know, obviously inventory. From what the pictures I saw, it looks like the inventory is like there's a lot of it. So I think it would come down to inventory. And also, is this going to be the new trend with GameStop shutting down stores, or good point we're going to get into is game is GameStop going to be around in a year? Are we going to see more mom and pop, gaming collectible stores popping up, left and right once that happens?
I don't think so personally, but that's just me. I think like the mom and pop like kind of takes care of like a whole other more kind of local community type thing where GameStop they're competing with like Best Buy or Amazon or Target that run these like awesome sales, and then GameStop always seems like I don't know their sales are always on their the pre-played stuff,
Yeah.
the used shit. So that's where you always like do best with GameStop is like when you're you try to like stack deals or whatever with their used stuff. Every once in a while, they'll like Black Friday they'll have a good sale on new product, but
Or here and
you know,
there they'll have a buy two get two free, or they'll have a big promotion
yeah,
every every quarter where everyone will go ham for 2 weeks.
But mom and pops can't do that, you know.
Right,
So
right, right.
I don't know. They're probably going to take over the used game market, obviously. But
My question is, where are they going to get the pricing? Because you notice when you go into a retro store, mom and pop shop, with the trade in, or you have games you're bringing in. First thing they're doing is they're looking at what GameStop is offering, and they're either matching that or maybe going, a dollar more or 50 cents more, I would assume. So, if GameStop were to go under, in a year and a half, who knows? Hopefully that won't happen. But where are they going to look for their pricing at that point? I'm assuming eBay, that would be the only other option, I would assume, where they're going to have an idea of what something's worth, going on to, a sold listings or something to that effect.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what we do now.
Yeah, but a store will definitely look at GameStop. You could say, like, let's just, throw a game out there. Let's say Mario Party 9 for the Wii. You know, that game I know for a while was, $50. I want to say maybe $45 at GameStop. But you go on eBay, it's selling for, $25, $30 complete shipped. So if you go into a mom and pop store, they're not putting that game at $29.99. They're putting that game literally at the same price that GameStop has that game at. Whether it was $49.99 or something close to that number. So again, they're taking those prices and they're pretty much building their store around those prices.
Well,
That's probably why they're going out of business, I guess.
probably. I just think the problem that this is creating is not only customers but the trade-in thing. Like, if you're 15 minutes apart from each other, you and you
Yeah.
s- if you
I can get a
specialize
quarter more over there.
exactly, it's like you're just gonna you are just tapping into the same trade pool or whatever you want to call it.
Or the mile radius, right? I agree with you, Paul. The 20-mile radius. You have. Well, now let's think about it. Within me, let's say a 20-mile radius. There's 4 stores. You have Digital Press Clifton, Digital Press Springfield. You have
Dude,
Retro
if you do a
Class.
straight radius, I mean, that's probably what, like 4 miles away, 3 miles away?
Yeah,
uh,
you have Retro Classics. Somerville is what? Another 15 minutes. So that's 25 minutes
Like
from me.
as the class type shit, you know what I mean? Like if you drove it, obviously there's going to be traffic, the whole deal. But I'm talking about like straight distance. If you're doing like radius or whatever, it's probably like 3 or 4 miles away.
Yeah, I could hit 3 stores in 30 minutes.
I mean, this new store is literally a half hour um from Retro Classics, and
I'd say less than that. I'd say probably 20 minutes.
I'm doing Google in real time, my friend.
Yeah.
And then there's a
Okay.
GameStop in Watchung, 18 minutes from this location. So this must be the closest GameStop, the one that's on 22. Like,
Correct.
yep. Though I've
Well,
been to this location.
there's
I worked a
there's
shift at this location
there's
about a
2 on
decade ago.
22. There's one in Union on 22, and then there's one in Wachong.
Yeah, this is the Watchung one. Looks like it's the closest according to Google. And then let's even see what's that one? Level 1 Games in Pompton Plains.
I don't know
Yes.
about that. That's north, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
north.
that's up 287.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
north.
That's way up north.
And then yeah, so literally this is a half hour from Retro Classics, and then
15 minutes from Digital Press 2,
yep, 15
and
minutes.
and probably 30 minutes from Digital Press in Clifton.
Yep, that's exactly what it
Just
is.
just the opposite way.
Yep. Let's even do it. Digital Press Clifton. Let's even see. Well, it's probably yeah, you're probably right. Yep. It's 27 minutes without traffic, 21 miles to
Yep.
Digital Press.
And that's what I was saying. A 20-mile radius, you literally have 4 stores in a 20-mile radius.
Yep. And
That I know of. That I know of.
and we're not even counting like what I call a ghetto game store. And what I call a ghetto game store is like a store like AJ's store, Like, he doesn't even have a fucking Yelp listing or a Google review listing. So the only people that can find him are like people in like the community or whatever, or
Well,
people
I don't
that
even.
pass them by.
Yeah, I don't even think they're there anymore. From what I heard, they moved out.
Well, that's our next topic. Ding ding ding. So let's just move along here to Zonk's Retro Games and More closing temporarily to split ways with Rip and Run Collectibles, so they now have their own store. So now everything that we talked about probably a half a year ago or less in our previous episodes, that they were going to end up hating each other, go into
Happened.
competition with each other. It's like, yeah, I got to admit it's pretty dumb all around. You know what I mean? And obviously AJ's a complete piece of trash, and so is that weird old dude that, like, I don't know, like touches him or whatever. Um, but like whatever the fuck his name is. Um,
Anthony, but yeah, I don't have a problem with
Oh.
Anthony though. I never had an issue with him.
yeah, I mean he pissed me off one time. I'm not gonna lie.
I
And
think
like,
he did a lot of the. He was doing a lot of like the flea markets and stuff.
yeah, but it's like they split ways. So apparently, if that's the guy's name, I forgot it. Anthony and AJ now are opening their own store. Uh, I forget where it is now. For some reason, yeah, it's Hawthorne. I think it's somewhat near the arcade near
And
They
you,
used to
Billy's.
live in Hawthorne. They're opening the store in Hawthorne.
Yes, I believe it's in Hawthorne.
oh, and then going on to that, we could even talk about Ryan. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
He closed his store, and I heard that he relocated.
yes, that is. I remember seeing that, and I think now based on, I could, I think it was like inside of
And I don't even know
like
the
a
name of
pawn
his store,
shop.
but
Gotta
yeah,
have a.
Ryan. Yeah, I don't know the name of his store, but I know he had a store. He moved, and where his store had to be. Again, I don't know where the old store was, but I would assume it was probably 30, 40 minutes from,
Here,
maybe a little further out than 20 miles. But
here it is. Gotta have it. Video games in Hackettstown, New Jersey.
there you go.
And it looks like he does actually have a Facebook page, and there are like yellow, like if you search it, it's actually coming up. Actually, never mind. I just did Facebook gotta have it, and that Facebook page was taken down. But it looks like, yeah, he's in Hackettstown now, according to what there is. There's also a gotta have it pool and spa. But you know what I mean? Like their stores are like stores that are like jokes. It's like it looks like someone just opened up a dirty old warehouse, dumped all their, like, I don't know, flea market stock on the floor. They don't have prices on it. They're only taking cash and PayPal gift. They're basically offering like a convention vendor in a store. Like
Yeah.
they don't even have like receipts. You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't.
I've never been to their store, so I wouldn't know, But I did hear that people complaining, mainly about AJ store, where people were complaining the prices were different for different people.
Exactly. They're just operating like a vendor without prices on it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like if you're like at a garage sale or like a con, by all means have it, but you're a store. If you're not going to operate like a store, just set up a fucking,
Right.
flea market stand, or go to all the local conventions, you
Right.
know.
Well, I think that's what, when I went to Retro Classics one day, and I have nothing against Paul or anything, but I think that's what frustrated me. I walked in there just out of work one day, so I had like a suit on. I just got out of a meeting, and I ended up leaving work early, and I wanted to go look at some games, and I was like, oh, I was in the area. And I think that's the one thing that frustrated me is like 3 or 4 games. The guy that was there, I don't even think Paul was there that day, said, hold on, I gotta look for pricing. And it's a little bit frustrating. And it's like, okay, so every game I ask you about, you have to look. And I noticed he's going on eBay, and then he started having like intermittent issues with the internet. And, I didn't have a whole lot of time to like sit there and burn. So I kind of just, and I would have purchased it. I saw a few games that I really wanted, but I think that's what was frustrating is like you own a store and you have to look up the games. I get it if one game here or there, maybe something got miscued and there's not a
or
label on
something
it.
that was just traded in 24
Right,
hours
right.
ago.
But it literally was like every game I asked behind the
But think
counter.
about, I mean, that probably happens at least once a day in a store like that.
Yeah.
And think about like how that fucking adds up. You know what I
It's
mean? That
time.
happens
It's
one
wasted.
times a day. Yeah, time wasted. Like it's money you're not earning, dude. It's money you're not earning.
And the thing is with me, and you guys know me, is I would have dropped money. I would have probably spent dropped a few $100s in there.
Yeah,
Not even, not even.
But as soon as you
thinking
get to a
about it.
point where it's like, I don't even want to give these people my money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because
It's like
at
you
that
could have
point,
had
I'm
the
like,
fucking greatest thing in the world. You could have had everything I'm looking for, but you know what? I don't even want to give you my money.
right. Yeah, great. And I think that's what frustrated me is, and then when I got upset, the guy got upset with me, like I was the jerk off.
here's the problem in all the stores that operate that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I go to a store, I expect if it's like a legit store, I expect there to be a price on everything. So I know what the
No
price
question.
is.
No
And
question.
but there's also, I'll take two sides of the fence to this, but here's where these stores fail. If there's like a store that's running like a shit show where it's just like a, like like a vendor setup or whatever at a flea market, and they don't have things priced, it leaves room for actual negotiation. The problem is with all these places that we're talking about is that they'll look up a price. You're not an idiot. They're not an idiot. They know how much it's worth. You know how to price things. You know how to determine value. Blah blah blah. And then they're like, they quote you a price. They spitball a price that's like nowhere near what it's actually worth. Like it's usually above. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's
Or
like
they get
it's
the highest end.
correct. But then it's like the same thing too. It's like where you can negotiate. But I'll admit too, I'll two sides of the fence that I've used that scenario, and sometimes I've negotiated and I ended up purchasing a thing. Other times I did get frustrated and flustered because it was like there's no price on this. I guess it's good and bad. I guess I'll play both sides of the fence. But
Well, like I said though, Paul, it's one game here and there. All right. I'm not. But like when I asked for like literally 4 games that I saw that I wanted, and every game he had to go on the internet, and then like the second or third game, the internet started going. He was like, "Can you wait a minute?" And I'm like,
I see.
you don't
Yeah.
have them priced, man. Like I don't want to sit here for 2 hours while you look up what's sold on eBay and get an idea of what because again, these games pretty much stay within the same value. And if you're concerned about losing money, maybe you need to like reevaluate your inventory off hours, like have someone every 3 months go through your entire store and reevaluate, make sure that the pricing didn't go up or down, but don't do it while the customer's sitting in front of you.
That's actually a standard practice. It's obviously, repricing things. I think the way GameStop works before, I think it either happens when they close or before they open. Like a guy will
Right,
stay an hour after or an hour before they open,
right,
and they'll get the printout. And what they do, they come to the store, and they don't even have to do anything. It's all predetermined. It's like, oh, here's the report for the repricing today, and then it reprints out the new stickers, whatever the fuck. You ever go to
right.
GameStop and like a case has like 17 fucking stickers on it?
Oh yeah,
And
no question.
yeah, it's like that's what they do. That's like a standard fucking practice to be
Or
competitive
or
too.
or when you see the brand new game is cheaper than the used game.
Oh
The
yeah.
used game, the used game will be 34.99. The brand new games will be 19.99. It's
Well,
like what?
it's also the beauty of it too, and that pisses me off too because their GameStop's, I guess, big marketing thing is that you will always pay more on pre-owned. But then there's like, oh, there's this exception. If it's a promo, it doesn't matter. The new price is
Right.
cheaper. And I'm like, and there was a period of time where I went into GameStop and I wasn't even buying used games because, like you said, the new copy was cheaper. And I'm like, on what planet does this even make any sense?
Right. You're gonna buy 19.99 sealed or 34.99 used.
Yeah, I think it's also dumb on their part too. Like, do they really think that they're going to hold on to that game and like 2 weeks after they had a sale on a game for $20, flip the used copy for 40? Maybe,
Right.
maybe to the dumb, uneducated customer, but the chances I
Right.
think are still low.
Slim to none.
Well, I guess, and going back to the topic, I guess of what happened is that now Rip and Run Collectibles is a standalone store. Um, I don't know them personally. I'm pretty sure the owner's name is Angry Steve. So he's now on his own, and obviously everyone that's probably listening to this, you guys know there's like a group. It's called like a bashing group, and now that guy has joined the bashing group, and they're in on it too. And I mean, I'll admit too that some of it is a little like immature, but I can't help but just sit back, warm up some popcorn, throw some oil in the kettle, hear that shit pop, and then be ready. Throw some salt on that bitch and just sit back and laugh.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I just think it's so ridiculous that like this is even still going on and like how they're even making any money. But I think it's working. It is working out for them now that I thought about it. Is because they're finding because retail stores are closing. Fucking landlords probably can't even find tenants anymore. They're probably finding a place that they look at. It's like, oh shit, this lease is probably only like $300 more a month versus the storage that we're paying. We might as well just open a store for storing all the shit that we're hoarding. So that's what happens with these scenarios, I think.
And again, we'll know in 3, 4. I'll definitely check out the store. I mean, it's 5 minutes from my house. Um, but yeah, and hopefully, it stays around. But we'll know. The good stores stay around, obviously. With time,
Yep.
and the bad stores, disappear, obviously.
Yep, they're just gonna
With
it's just gonna be
because
cutthroat competition at that point.
and just bad business practices. In the end, you'll fail with bad business practices.
Well, let's
All
go
right.
into the next thing that we talked about, GameStop. We mentioned GameStop already several times, and here's something that has happened in the past few months or so. GameStops are officially consolidating. They're closing. And we now know of three GameStops that are closing in New Jersey. I'll list them out for you. It's Hoboken, Phillipsburg, which I think is now like closed. They're not even clearing out their shit. I think that mall like kicked everybody out, and that place is about to like, I don't know, be fucking bulldozed or something. And then there's also the latest store that was found out was East Rutherford, and I think they're already at like the point of 60% off everything. Um, but I'm pretty sure all these stores have been picked clean and it's just down to like complete trash and collectibles. But the thing is that we're witnessing this, and what do you think is going to happen? Do you think we'll see half the stores closed in New Jersey by end of the year? Do you think GameStop will be gone by end of the year? And will they even hit the launch of the new consoles at this point? What do you guys think?
Dave, you want to go first?
Sure. I think they'll be here for the console launches. I don't think there's going to be nearly as many stores. They're definitely going to keep closing stores. I don't think they'll be gone by the end of the year, though. I don't think it's going to be that fast. And if anything, I don't think the brand ever kind of like dies and goes away. If anything, it's going to get sort of like completely rehauled like they did with Toys R Us.
I
Like some
agree.
company will buy the name and then, come out and then the stores will be like totally different than they are now.
Yep, and I'll say I was wrong. I thought that they would be closed by the end of Q1, but with the fact that they're still doing these aggressive sales, I think what's happening is what they needed to do. They're just consolidating. There's one town near me, Rockaway, New Jersey. There's freaking two stores literally 2 minutes from each other. One's inside a mall and one's in a strip mall. It makes no sense whatsoever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's just I don't get it.
It's just stupid. Again, just dumb decisions. I'll be honest with you. I disagree with you guys. They're burning through money like you have. I mean, they're just literally losing millions, and I mean, they're just running through money. I just don't think they're gonna make it, man. I mean, that's just my gut feeling is. And again, I don't wish that at all because who doesn't like going to GameStop and
Appar-
scouring
Apparently, a lot of
scouring.
people. Apparently,
Yeah, I
apparently, a
know,
lot
but
of people are edgy as fuck, and it's cool to hate
I,
GameStop.
again, I think with GameStop, I don't like a lot of things they do, but again, with GameStop, you need to know when, how to use their promotions. You have to know the right times to go to GameStop where it'll be beneficial to you. Just
That's
walking in
true.
any, right. Just walking in any day is not, no, you got to wait for their promotions, wait for their, their aggressive sales.
Hope that the inventory in that store is good at the time.
Right. Hopefully they'll do they'll add 20% trade-in value. You got to wait for those type of things. So there's a lot of positives that GameStop does.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and I think it helps the community, obviously, but
I think they've definitely done things that they need to like, I don't know, just completely revamp their image because they definitely have like a huge reputation for mistreating their
yeah,
employees,
Dave, you know what?
pushing the pre-orders. Like,
Dave,
there's this
you
whole,
just nailed it 100%. That's
yeah,
exact. I was going to say the one thing, if I hate the one thing the most is I hear the way they treat their employees is disgusting. And so you just literally nailed what I was about to say.
yeah. So, I mean, like they just have like practices that they need to fucking just get rid of and like make a big deal out of it. And then, do some sort of fucking PR campaign, redo your stores. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but if they do a lot of that stuff, I feel like people will get behind them again. But right now, like what Paul was saying, it's like popular to hate GameStop because they have done fucked up shit. And,
You,
some
well,
people don't know how to take advantage of the way that we know how to, like all the sales and everything like that.
right, exactly.
So for us, I mean, it's great. Like they're fucking awesome because they stick around. They have some inventory. We can go there. We can get like some great deals because we know how to take advantage of it. But Joe Schmo looking off the street has no idea.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
again,
Yeah.
I think what turns a lot of people off is going back to the employees. When you tell your employee he's going to be fired in 3 weeks if he doesn't sell X amount of games, it's like, I mean, that's not the way. First of all, it's not the way you keep people. Second of all, I mean, how does the employee dictate the traffic that's walking into your store? Or you're forcing them to sell your iPhone right in front of you. Hey, you want to sell your iPhone for $50? I mean, it's like, those type of business practices people see through and,
Yeah.
it's just disgusting. And,
I mean,
yeah.
that shit has been going on since the heyday, even
Yeah.
before GameStop, I think, was really took over the other companies. Like before
You
there
can't
was,
get away with that shit now. That's the difference. Is like now you can't get away with it. You could have
yeah,
gotten away with it before, but now you can't get away with it. And, they're being held accountable to it, I feel like.
yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know.
honestly, if they hired like some HR type people and like really put money into proper training and like stuff like that, like you know what I mean? Like I just see people who get hired at GameStop like maybe they like modern gaming. And I'll be honest, like sometimes I trade like some older stuff. Like I'm even when I say older stuff, I'm not saying retro. I'm just saying like 2 gens ago. And some of these like younger, like it's not like I'm hating on them, but they just don't know because they just don't care and they don't have to know. Like I'll
All right.
trade in some accessories and sometimes they'll go, "Wait, what is this?" And I go, "Huh?" You know what I mean? Like in my head, I'm like, you work at a video game store and it doesn't calculate. But then I check myself and I'm like, this person doesn't need to know this really. They're not forced to know it. They're not trained. They're not educated. You know what I mean? Like I can't think that every GameStop employee is gonna have the knowledge base of every enthusiast that we talk to or and shit like that. Like,
No way.
yeah, exactly. It's like, but that's the problem is that if they took the time to do that, maybe like I don't know, made a training DVD or I don't know, release some PDFs for some
I,
people to read or some shit. You
I
know what I
just
mean?
think
It's not that hard.
yeah, but I just think everything comes down to threats at GameStop to the employees. You need to get me 8 quotes a day for
Oh yeah,
trade-ins, or you need to sell X amount of pre-owned games, and if not, then you're not going to have a job here. And who wants to work in that type of a hostility work environment? I mean, even I get it. These kids are young, but no one deserves, whether you're 18 or 40, deserves to be treated or under that type of pressure. That if I don't sell 40 copies of this used game in 3 days that I'm canned.
Well, that shit has been going on. Even the heydays. I worked at EB Games. I just did the math. It was 17 fucking years ago. I worked at EB Games 17 years ago. I
You
was
old fuck.
I was a sales associate at EB Games. I was told if I didn't say to every customer that walked into the register, do you want to pre-order X game that we're pushing the pre-order, or do you want to sign up for our Edge card and get
But see,
10%
Paul,
off?
saying,
I
but
was
see,
going to get
saying,
canned.
but see, saying something is okay. You know, I'm not saying not to not say something,
Mhm.
but to put the pressure on them that if they don't sell X amount of games, or if they don't get, X amount of pre-orders. I mean, you could say, I agree for every person you say it to, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it.
It's true. Well, it's also that's another thing that's been debunked, and maybe that's even something that we could chat about later because a lot of people have argued it was the management per store, but then a lot of other people pointed out that this is just the tactics that come from the top of the pyramid. You know what I mean? From the
Oh, yeah,
top
no
of the
question.
totem
There's
pole.
it was too widespread. It was
Exactly.
too widespread for it to be like, oh, it's only in New Jersey or it's only
It's
wherever.
only in this shitty store with this shitty
Yeah.
manager or whatever. Well, that this let's jump into the next topic because you touched on it before, Crossin. You talked about the things that when GameStop is gone, I'm gonna legit cry because of the sales that the pros that they bring, the positives is that they're a big company. They have freaking, I don't know, thousands of locations nationwide, and they run these sales. They're both online and in store. And when those are gone, like I'm gonna be honest, like I guess I'm gonna be reduced to just collecting. I'm gonna be stocking eBay again. Like I haven't
Yeah.
stocked eBay for years, I would say. Like I'll go on eBay every now and then and just say fuck it. I just want something right now, and I'll click buy it now. But like there was before where I would go on every Sunday night and stock auctions, but the deals will be gone. And one of the best deals that I think ever happened so far at GameStop was there was buy two get two free. It start
Unused games.
on used games, yes, but there was no
Including,
restrictions.
yeah, there's no restrictions. So including like brand new Switch games.
Yep,
Well, not brand new, but just come out, but were still used.
yep.
It was crazy. I did well.
And yeah, I stacked up. I probably purchased, I'm going to say probably about 16 to 20 games.
Yep. I would say I purchased probably I can't even guess at this point. Probably ungodly amounts. I'm gonna say probably the range of like 60 plus games. In terms of
Holy shit.
in terms of what I kept though
Shit.
was probably like less than a third of that because the sale was so good, and here's also why, is for a while the Elite Pro, which is 20% off, was stacking on top of this. And CAG 16, which is an online code, was also stacking. So like when all
That's
was said
crazy.
and done, when I bought four first party Nintendo games, here I'll give you an example of a purchase. Like, and no shame here, I'm a complete piece of trash. Like I bought two Luigi's Mansions 3, two Super Mario Maker 2s, you know what I mean, all first title Nintendo crap. When all was said and done, I think I looked with shipping, tax, blah blah blah. I was paying roughly like $22 a game, right? You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna get
No, you're never going to get a Nintendo first party game for $22.
exactly,
Even at the end of the life cycle.
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So like at that point, it was like I focused hard as fuck on Nintendo first party shit because that stuff is never on sale.
Yeah. That's all I
Never,
did too.
Yeah,
never.
and on top of it, and I don't know if it's like if they're stupid or like it's just a coincidence. During the same time frame, they were offering trade-in promos. Let me put them all for you that were happening all at once, and you could mix and match depending on what worked out the best for you. The promo was first promo, trade the same as cash while the sale was happening. I shit you not. The second promo that was happening was 20% extra trade in if you reserved a game or bought a PC accessory. And then the third promo was if you purchase a Switch game, get an extra $5 per Switch game. Like, think about that. So that means you could take a stack of games, mix and match, and just strategize what was going to give me the most amount of cash or credit. Go in, tell the associate which one you wanted to use. They claim the computer would choose the best one. I don't really believe in that. I think that's horseshit. But you just told them which one you wanted to do. They did it. And, like, there were certain cases where I literally was picking shit off of my shelf. And I was like, this game is trash. I'm making money from when I bought it. Like, there was weird stuff like that. Like, for example, some trash Switch game that I got. I don't even know why I bought it. I just bought it because it was cheap. I got the trade in. Like, I was getting $8 for some trash Switch games. You know what I mean? And the game I probably spent like $2 on, like something like that. Oh, here's an example. What was that game called? Starlink for Switch.
Yeah.
Like, I traded in like 3 copies of that, and I got like, I think roughly under $9 for each copy. And
Oh
when
my
all was
God.
said and done, like,
You could have gotten that for $6 like a couple of weeks ago.
correct. That's what I'm saying. I and like even and the crazy thing is I kept all the cases. You know what I mean? Like what everyone does. That's a little overboard, but that's how crazy I go. It's like why not just keep the cases? But what I'm trying to say is if you were just paying attention, you could literally buy things from the sale, and let's say you bought 4 games, right? Let's say 2 of the games you actually wanted to keep and 2 of the games you just didn't give a fuck about, but you just bought them just to maximize your potential. You could trade them in the next day and make money. So like
Yeah.
it's just if like if you're paying attention, it's like I don't even know, like maybe they just don't think people will go that extreme, but legit in most scenarios with the Switch stuff, I literally doubled my money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is that you just got to know how to take advantage of it. And then
Agree. Yep.
you can make a killing. You can make a killing. And GameStop will be like, the best place in the world, but you just got to know how to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and honestly, I actually wonder will this ever happen again? Like I was expecting buy two get one to come back like every now and then, but when they did buy two get two, I was like, "What?"
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, and then at the end of it, because I went a few times to a few different, but when I went, Sunday I woke up, I said, let me go one last time. And I mean, the shelves were cleaned. You know, it was literally just nothing left.
Oh, but here's my next topic, and I just add this on, and this is what really triggers me. This is the sign that we're coming towards the end, and I almost forgot about this. I don't know how. But starting on January 16th, which is 2 days from when this will be published, the Elite Pro discounts, which I just mentioned, and the Pro discount, so those not awake at home, Elite Pro was 20% and Pro was 10% off used games. The rumor, it's not a rumor, it's been confirmed actually because we have GameStop employees saying this in our local New Jersey group, is that doesn't matter if you paid for it, it is dead starting January 16th. So
Say that again. Say that again. I'm sorry. You were
Elite
breaking up a little.
Pro
Right.
20%
Oh,
off
oh,
and
yes,
Pro
yes.
10% off used is dead starting January 16th, which is
Correct.
this Thursday is the last. I don't know if that means it's the last day is the 16th or it's dead starting the 16th. I don't know if it's
Correct.
through the 16th. That's the correct way to say that. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So like if you renewed your Elite Pro towards the end for 2 years like a lot of people did, they're basically saying fuck you. We don't even care if you paid for it. We're just stopping it because we're probably losing too much money. So that further confirms that the buy two get two when Elite Pro was actually working was probably the best sale in the history of GameStop ever. I,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no question.
but that's insane. And but that also means is what will this I think that's going to dig the grave further for GameStop. Cuz I'll be honest with you, if I'm not getting at least 10% off and I'm just getting like some stupid $5 coupon, excuse me, and I don't have credit to burn, I guess it's happening. I guess that means I'm going to just
Yeah.
start going on eBay because I'll be honest with you, with the prices without their discounts, I'm going to say most of the time eBay buy it now is cheaper than buying something off the shelf used at GameStop without any
Hun-
discounts.
No, no question.
Well, I'm thinking that like, a big sale like this, there must be some sort of like bigger strategy behind it. So my thought is that you're probably right. Like you'll never see this again because they're probably doing like a huge inventory clear, so they can. There's probably like this whole like announcement on Slick Deals of like all the stores that are closing and getting huge discounts on consoles and shit like that. That's probably like wave one for 2020. There's probably going to be like a massive consolidation going on later this year.
Oh,
Because I mean, why else would they like? I mean, they're like fucking giving away games at that point, you know?
yeah, dude. All I know is that it's just so crazy with the changes that are happening and everything.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I don't even know what to think, but
Well, what
it's
about the deal with what is that? The J? I never saw this guy's store, but JJGames is going out, and then you said it's the same dude that like runs price charting.
oh God, I even forgot about that. JJ Games out of business. Yep. And let's just talk about that live. JJ Games and what JJ Games is it's JJ Hendricks. And who JJ Hendricks is, he's the same person behind price charting. And he would sell on, eBay, um, on price charting marketplace. If you're not familiar with it, that did exist for a
Never
while.
used it.
Um,
Never used it.
but basically, there was some things that people called his store out that he was like one of those online stores that always just had everything like 25% over value. And that's true. Like right now it says his store is going out of business, and I'll go to jjgames.com right now live, and apparently the store is closing in 7 days. Going out of business, everything is on sale. Okay, I'll click something random. Super Nintendo best sellers. Great. Super Mario World is still $17.40. All it looks like all standard prices or whatever, maybe somewhat standard. But the thing is that a lot of these prices were like, way above what they should have been. Like I'm just making this up entirely. Like maybe Super Mario World was like 30 or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, this just shows that whatever strategy this guy had, which I think it was just buying cheap lots on eBay and then reselling them one by one, over and over and over and over again, I guess is no longer working for this person.
No, because if you look at all the other stuff that he probably has like a few copies of Super Mario World left. But then you go down to the rest of the inventory, it's like John Elway football, fucking golf. It's like all the sports trash.
It's fillers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's even see all SNES items.
And let's be honest,
Bulls
SNES.
versus Blazers.
I'm going to be honest with you. SNES and NES and even N64, you probably in the last 2 years have seen a 30% drop, no question. I remember a time when I was selling Super Smash for the N64 for $60 all day. I mean, if I had 7 copies, I'd sell them in a day. And now that game is what, $40 maybe?
Well,
You
here,
can
here
get them all on like different platforms and shit now, like all the digital stuff. Oh.
oh, here you go.
Oh.
Maybe that's why this is such a crazy example, and I pulled this up randomly. Why this hasn't sold. First of all, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Final Fight 3 is worth less than $100. And look at this
Loose
label.
or loose?
Loose. Final Fight 3.
Loose is probably $50 max.
Well, let's even go to pricecharting.com. Okay?
I would say, all right, let's see how close I'm going to say between $40 and $50 max for a loose card.
Final Fight 3 is $96.21.
Oh, I'm thinking Final Fantasy. That's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
But look at this thing.
This guy's like 40% over.
He's 40%.
And it's trash.
It's 40% over
trash
his
list.
own tracked value, which is also crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
But here's the thing. This guy, he probably had some sort of algorithm, right? that to him it made sense. You know what I mean? And it worked for him for a while. And I think he would also pay a lot of money in SEM, search engine marketing. Basically, it's those ads that you click on when you search, that come to the top and they're text.
He didn't
Um,
spend any money on his website. Look at the description.
the description. Oh, hit the ice with NHL 07, an updated version of the popular hockey game that includes new tweaks and gameplay. Yeah, I think that
So is
also.
that even the right price?
I don't even know
This guy
anymore.
pulling in the right information on his website? It's ridiculous, dude.
Here's Arrow Fires with a complete beat the shit label for $583.11.
Wow.
Let's look at the Mega Man X3 for $264. Let's see what this label looks like if it ever wants to load.
That sounds about right. I
Oops.
came across a few copies loose in there, but I would say that I haven't checked it in a while. But I would say between 225 and 250 for a loose copy is for X3.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a sign of why he's going out of business. But a lot of these retailers, I guess it's a further sign of how this hobby and these businesses are dying. Like people who are just like flipping games over and over can't do it anymore. Like it's just not there. Any other thoughts before we move to the next topic? Because we are.
I don't know. I think you guys are on your own on the last topics because I got to drop.
All right. Well, let's save. Let's save. I'm just gonna erase these. Let's just go.
We'll go. We'll finish up and then go to the next week.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm gonna save these for next week if it even matters because I want to talk about
Definitely
this
want
one.
to talk about the one up. I want to talk about the Golden Axe one up next week. So
Okay, there you go. Perfect. Let's talk about PS5 and Xbox Series X backwards compatibility. What do you think will end up being the compatibility for both of these systems? What will end up being true? Do you think it's going to be compatibility with all of the previous systems, some of the systems? How do you think it'll be handled? Because right now it's confirmed 100% that PS5 will support PS4, PS4 VR, and PS4 Pro games, but everything else is in question. Xbox Series X will play all Xbox One games, obviously, and the new development is that there is no exclusive for Xbox Series X during this year. The only thing that Xbox Series X will play is Xbox One games in a higher resolution than Xbox One X or regular Xbox One, which is crazy to think. So what do you think will end up being true for PS5? Do you think we're going to have everything?
I
No,
think you're gonna have. I think they would be crazy
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't. And what I think they're actually going to do is they're going to do PS1 through 4 and PSP and Vita.
You mean like from
All
software?
playable on PS5. Yep.
Oh yeah, yes,
All,
software. But that's the other thing too. What will it actually support in physical media?
oh, it won't support any of that shit in physical media.
no,
Well,
I
no,
would.
no, no,
I
no.
would.
It'll support. It'll do. You know what? I think it'll probably do. If they're going to do the whole thing, they should do it physical media for all of them because they were all disc based, except obviously for like PSP and Vita or whatever. But that's what I think they should do because I mean I think that's what I assume that Xbox is going to do. So they kind of because otherwise it's just like if they're not really going backwards compatibility, all they're doing is opening up a bigger marketplace for you to rebuy the shit that you already own. You know what I mean?
I just don't know how hard it would be. I guess it's software more than the hardware. I would assume to make it all work.
Yeah, I mean it's just building emulators, first party emulators.
You know what I think? I think they're gonna fuck everything up across both of them. I think they're gonna
Just have the
half-ass.
last generation.
Yep,
Yep.
I think they're.
That's what I would go with.
Yeah, they're.
I think it'll just be
I
too
think
much for
Xbox
them.
already said that it's going to be all the way back to 1.
You mean OG?
Yeah, it's going to go like the backwards compatibility that we have with the X. It's just going to it's going to be even more comprehensive. That's the impression that I got, is that backwards compatibility goes all the way back to the original Xbox.
I think no. I think this is what I think is going to happen for both systems. I think they're only going to be backwards compatible with the previous generation in some way, shape, or form, like the most support, and then they will support other gens physical media, but it'll be half-assed, and it'll be just like Xbox One X, like
Right. This
Yeah,
game, that game.
yep,
yeah.
because what they're gonna do, kind of similar to what Dave said, is that they'll release the game like an emulated version, and basically your disc, if you own it, sort of as a, I don't know
Your license.
exactly, like if you own, I don't know, I'm gonna make this up, uh, God of War Ascension for PS3, and you pop the disc into your PS5, it'll download the emulated special version and play it in HD, 4K, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because that's what they did with the Grand Theft Auto and San Andreas for Xbox.
Exactly. But it's gonna
It's a
be
totally different version of the game.
correct. But it's gonna be super spotty. It's not gonna be like, let me put it this way, it's not going to be like PS3 where on day one launch on the 60 gig PS3, literally I think it was like 95% of PS2 games ran, but that was a different story because it actually
Well, that's
had
because they had hardware.
correct.
They had actual hardware in those systems. Whereas this, it's going to be purely emulation software.
Exactly. So that's why I'm thinking I, you know what I mean? I think it's possible. Like they could have done like a one-stop like emulator if they really spent the time and money to do it, but they're not. I think, you know what I mean? Like I think all the enthusiasts are rooting for it, but I think they, like some analysts probably said, "Oh, it's not worth the money to do this because of X, Y,
Right.
and
So,
Z."
right. I
But
agree.
for PS4, feel like for PlayStation, it is probably worth it for them. I mean, Xbox, they've already kind of invested. They've already done it. I mean, even if they just carried forward what they have now into the, Series X or whatever, they've already done it. Like, it's already pretty backwards compatibility. Like, when you think of the Xbox, you think like it's relatively backwards compatible, whereas PS4, you think of the 60 gig, the 60 gig PS3 as like the holy grail of machines. But I think with PS5 I think that they're going to do it just because if they can get everybody that's ever owned a PlayStation game to reinvest back into PlayStation 5 again, I mean, it's already going to be easier for them with PS4. I don't know. I think it would make sense for them to do it. It would be a worthy investment, but I mean, I don't know the analytics, but just it seems like it would be, just because you would have all these people that have like all these PlayStation games going back to who knows how many years, and they're guaranteed to buy PS5 because they can play every single one of those games. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And just get rid of all the other hardware.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy
It's
because,
appealing. It's appealing.
well, it's also gonna be it's also a crazy thought because I'm even thinking this. It's like holy shit! Like people are actually still buying PS4s, and honestly, if it's like if it's like confirmed like that PS4 backwards compatibility is like even 95%, like what's the fucking point of even owning a PS4 at that point? To me at least. Like I'll dump my PS4 now, and then pick up
Yeah.
a used PS4 at like a fucking garage sale. Like,
Well, that's what I did. I had three of them. I got rid of one already. I just put another one on mine. And yeah, if it's backwards compatibility, I mean, I'm just gonna get rid of all. What's the point of having it?
there's no point if you have. It was almost like I think I think the only reason why I didn't get PS3 at launch, and that's why I still have my PS2. Thinking about it, like if I did buy PS3 at launch, I probably would have dumped my PS2 day one, but I didn't. Um, but my final thought is that even like I love all the systems for their own reasons, but I actually am starting to think that Xbox Series X, and like I also thought about it too, is like what's the advantages of even buying some of these consoles day one, if there's no like exclusive software to everyone's arguments, but it's like I'm gonna inevitably buy it anyway. So it's like, what's the point of holding out, you know? But
Yeah.
but I'll be honest, like Xbox Series X as the time goes on is looking shittier and shittier because like the only thing I think that is going to happen at launch is that you'll be able to play the new Halo game in like, you know, ultra mode 4K or whatever. And, you know, that's about it. Like
Yeah.
I can't really see any other advantage of it.
I, I mean, that worked. That's fine for me though, just because it's like, I don't understand what the difference is. I mean, all it is just, you know, say a PS5 game comes out or whatever,
Hmm.
some exclusive. Say like it's the I don't know, what am I trying to think of? Horizon, right?
Yeah,
The next Horizon game.
Horizon Zero
I
Dawn.
guarantee you, there's a version of Horizon Zero Dawn that they could have made run on the PS4.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? They're just not doing it,
Yep, to make it
supposedly.
exclusive. Yep.
Yeah, to make it exclusive. Whereas the Microsoft, they're just saying, well, you can play it on the Series X and it's going to have bells and whistles, just like it is on PC. You know what I mean? Like, there's no games on super popular games, I feel like, that come out that consoles just straight flat out can't run. I don't know if that's the argument I'm trying to make, but
No, I get what you're
like
saying.
there's not games on PC that like, you know, that are so much better or whatever that they're completely unrecognizable on console or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make here is.
The point you're trying to make is that you could take a game and let's even say I don't know, just any game in general. Like there was a while where games were released across like multiple consoles. Like a game that comes to mind is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. That game was made in I think like Unreal Engine, I don't know what 4 or something. I'm making this up probably. But point is that that game could be ported to basically everything. PC, Switch, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, blah blah blah. But you're playing the same fucking game. The only difference is that you're seeing one in a lower resolution and a higher resolution or maxed out textures. That's the only
Yeah.
difference.
Right. It's just enhanced.
The one on PC has more crowds or, you know, because it has a better processor and stuff like that. So
Or one
it's going to be it would be the same game. It's just obviously going to run better and have cooler shit on the upgraded console. So
correct.
I don't see it as like an issue that like they're not going to have quote unquote exclusive games because they're going to have platform exclusive games. They're just not going to have games that are, you know, excluded from the Xbox One platform, I guess.
Well, we're T minus 11 months.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Yeah.
It'll be here before we freaking know it. Oh well, it'll be interesting to see how things turn out and what actually
will.
happens. But I guess that's it. That's
And obviously Game Pass is a huge deciding factor.
What do
in
you
all
guys
that.
pay for that?
well, right
Is that a
now,
monthly subscription?
yeah, it's monthly
Yeah.
just by the Xbox Live. But the thing is that they ran a promotion that if you if you took advantage of signing up before like it even really started, it was like I don't know, like $1 or something stupid.
Yeah.
And it upgraded your Xbox Live subscription to Xbox Ultimate.
However long your current subscription was for
Yeah,
$1, you were able to upgrade the rest of your subscription to not only Xbox Gold, but, you know, for Ultimate Game Pass.
yeah. So I basically maxed out my Xbox Live. I think the most you can stack it is 3 years. So I did 3 years, and I made sure it was like maxed out all the way. And then I did that promo, and now I have Game Pass until like the end of 2021 or something like that, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. And somebody made a good point on, I guess it was Facebook or Twitter or something like that, where it's actually, so the price of the console is probably going to be more expensive. Probably, I'm saying like $500 is probably going to be the top.
For what? What are we talking about? Xbox?
I think for both.
Okay, so you're saying they're both coming in at $499?
Yeah, it's just theoretical. You just say it's not even PlayStation or Xbox. Just say it's like whatever, you know, a company X, right?
Right.
They come at $500.
Sure.
Say they both have a subscription service by then, right? You're actually going to be able to walk out the store cheaper. Even though the console itself is more expensive, you're going to walk out the store cheaper because you've got like backwards compatibility with the controller. You don't have to actually buy a game because if you have your subscription service, you don't have to actually buy any games right away. Stuff like that. So it was actually kind of like an interesting way to look at it. Like while the price tag is going to be a little bit higher, you're probably going to walk out of the store spending a little bit less money. So you don't have to buy like 3 or 4 games right at launch.
Right.
Anyway, I got to get the fuck out of here.
All right, me too. Well, welcome back to Triggered Tuesday. Lots of things to trigger us in this brand new, beautiful year. You guys are trash. Bye.
All
So are
right,
you.
guys.
I love you, trash.
Later.
Bye.